Welcome back to the fourth edition of Connected Banking Summit, East Africa, Innovation and Excellence Awards. My name is Mohammed Tawfiq. I'm the Partnership Director with the International Center for Strategic Alliances. This summit was formerly known as the Africa Digital Banking Summit, Innovation and Excellence Awards. Up next, I hope all of you grabbed a quick lunch. Now we have a fireside chat called The Evolution of the Digital Consumer. This is going to be moderated by Mr. Fahim Ali, Chief Technology Officer, Elite Digital Solutions. Welcome, Fahim.
Thank you so much, Mohammed.
And we also have joining Fahim, we have Sean Edmiston, Acting Head of Business Banking, ABSA Group, and Olanma John Agbaje, Country Operations Officer, Axis Bank, Rwanda. Hello, Sean.
Hi guys, how you doing?
Welcome, Olanma. I'm going to leave you to
Thank you.
with the lady. Please go ahead. I'm going to sit back and enjoy the fireside chat.
Thank you, Mohammed. Hi, Olama. Hi, Sean. Pleasure
Hi,
meeting
Fahim.
you here. So let me start this fireside chat. So guys, our topic, as Mohammed said, is evolution on the digital consumer. We will take 30 to 40 minutes for this panel. I request you to please keep posting your questions if you have any questions for us, so that I can keep watching the questions and I ask from the panelists or I answer myself also, and then we can carry on with this panel. So before I formally start, I would like my panelists to introduce themselves. So starting from you, Olama.
Okay, thank you, Fahim, and thank you for having me here today. My name is Olama John Agbaje. I'm currently the Country Operating Officer for Access Bank Rwanda. So I presently supervise the operations and IT units of the bank. Thank you.
Thank you, Olanma. Sean?
Yeah, good afternoon, everybody. So my name is Sean Edmiston. I'm the Director of Customer Experience of the ABSA Group here in Mauritius, and looking after across all the segments, all the businesses, all products, channels from an experience perspective. Good to be on board.
Thank you, Sean. We will definitely learn more from both of you. So let me start. So guys, yes, right now, if you see after COVID or as post-COVID or even pre-COVID or during COVID, we were all facing lots of issues of how we manage the consumers on digital platforms. And every time the consumers are actually bringing with the new, services. It's also been told that how, we should serve them. Everyone is coming with a different strategy. There's no, quick manual where we can read and understand that, what are the needs and how we can, pursue them. Every industry, every banking forum, every financial institution is also doing their own way. So let me start with my first question with this a little speech from Olanma, from you. What do you think right now? Most of the banks keep responding on this evolution of the digital consumer. What are the advantages of this digital, evolution, which people are responding, the banks are responding, and how we should actually cope from there? So, Olanma, from you.
Okay, thank you, Fahim. Like you rightly said, over the years, especially in the last 2 years during the pandemic, the customers have become more sophisticated. The customers have become more, demanding, and a lot of them have migrated into the digital platform. So let's just do a quick reminder of what our customers require of us as the bank. So what they want is just a smart and intuitive user interface anytime they interact with our platforms. They want a platform that is easy to navigate and also real-time support, as well as a very important aspect, which is security. So the good news is that the same digital customers are the biggest drivers of growth in terms of the data-driven marketing tools and techniques that are available right now. So what do? This is an opportunity for us as the banks, because it means that we have this data at fingertips, and we cannot afford to ignore this opportunity. And then we have to now use this opportunity that has come up for our advantage. So we don't see it as, oh, these customers are becoming more demanding or more sophisticated. We have to go back to our drawing table and see this as an opportunity that it is, and then use it to our advantage. So one of the things every bank must do definitely is to understand the customer insights. We need to know our customers. Who are our customers? Where are they? What do they want? Where are they going? What are their demands? So that we can understand their journey and then optimally position our digital products so that we can meet and, of course, exceed their expectations. So fortunately for us, there's no need to guess, because anytime the same customers that are online are also providing data for us to use. So what do? We just go back to this data so that we can get all the required information that we need. But we don't just, so an earlier speaker had spoken about, an earlier panel had spoken about Omni-Channel. We have to invest in Omni-Channel because it's from there that we're able to, online and offline, we're able to, spool data and, harvest the data that we can use to respond to our customers' needs. So we get to go ahead and pull our data, but this data is of no use if we don't know how to analyze it. An earlier speaker had spoken about advanced data analytics, which is what every organization, every bank needs to invest in heavily, so that we don't just have data that we're not getting anything out of. So we need to invest in our staff training. We need to upskill. We need to reskill so that our staff can understand, even if it means maybe outsourcing or even hiring staff that could help to analyze this data, so that, and then of course, we also have to invest in digital intelligence, analytical tools for real-time intelligent decision-making, because decision-making now is fast, because as you're taking one decision, there's, another, let me just use the word disruption happening, from another angle. So in summary, I'll just say that proper data analysis will help in customer intelligence, as well as personalization, so that we can influence our customer behavior via content and offerings. So we know what our customers are looking for, so we can match with offers. And ultimately, this will translate on an enjoyable customer experience, which ultimately will affect our bottom line.
Great, Olanma. So I can really say that you are saying that, we need to go in the mapping of, first of all, awareness, internal and external, definitely internal with our staff, and taking upscaling, trainings, hiring staff where there is a need, we need to fill out, and definitely, formulating and then again, making it like a product which everyone can understand. Then consideration that what customer really needs from the personalized point of view, and then making it in in the purchase or in the area where people can really use it in a manner that they can understand. And then from there it should be also loyalty. Loyalty is also main, because if they are just switching here and there, then definitely that the consumer, we have not understood their personalized services. With that personalized services, I would like to ask Sean the question from you. And I see maybe on back of your whiteboard you have already made a journey of customer. Maybe you have mapped it personalized services on your back. So how we can meet the increased needs of this personalized services in this digital evolution? What do you think?
I think the starting point, and Alonmus mentioned around the amount of customer insights that we have. It has to start there. I think before we can offer personalized service, we have to be able to structure ourselves as an organization to be able to capture the relevant data and then be able to store it and present it in a way that is meaningful to the end customer. being able to push offers to customers is nothing new. It's how we use predictive analytics and the channel that the customers prefer to use to be able to push that. Now, one of the words that was bandied around for a long time in the last decade has been this omni-channel approach. And omni-channel has started to shift to multi-channel. So I think the first way of servicing the needs of customers is by adapting our business model primarily to the channels that customers want to engage with us through, as opposed to those channels which we believe they should engage with us through. So your Gen Ys, your Gen Alphas, which is the next band of customers coming into the marketplace, are going to be looking for the ability to hop channel, switch channel, but still create the same experience. So your channel selection is critical. And I think the smartphone has become for everybody what the personal computer was in the 80s. It is the place where most of our operations happen, and every one of our journeys needs to start with this thing in mind. Because before you do anything in the morning, before you have your cup of tea, before you have your cup of coffee, before you even brush your teeth, 99% of the population rolls over and checks their phone. If you are not relevant at that point in time, it doesn't matter what you do during the day. If you're the first thing that people see in the morning, you're going to be the first thing that people recognize as part of being relevant in their life. So channel is vitally important. Being able to then digest that data that you collect during the engagement is then the next big piece. How you package that data around next best product, customers like you also bought this real-time offer now based on your current spend pattern. This is the way in which hyper-personalization is becoming the next big phase of proactive engagement from a customer experience perspective. Being able to choose channel, choose offer at the time that is relevant to the customer is the big move that banks are needing to make in the world, and being able to say, right, how do we stop this spray and pray approach? And when I'm shopping on a Friday afternoon and I reach 80% of my overdraft capacity, but I've got some fat built into my background, push me the notification. Do you need an extra 10% so you can continue shopping? Sure. Click. Yes, I do. There it is. Hyper-personalization relevant to lifestyle. And the last piece about this exploitation of the need for extreme service and extreme personalization is always going to be my ability to capture real-time data. Not just real-time data from a transactional perspective, but real-time data on feedback from customer, how I can pick up how my customers are experiencing the offers, experiencing the channels, as opposed to collecting it 6 months later in the standard surveys that we're doing and then proactively responding. If we're not operating on that environment, we're never going to be able to take advantage of what the customer's expecting from us and use the technology that's out there to be able to create the most proactive, engaging customer experience that the benchmark is being set by parallel industries.
Wonderful response, Sean. I like the 2 points which you said, that we should create the channels where the customer want to approach us, rather than we create the channel for customer that you approach only from this channel from us. And omni-channel, as you said, is multiple channels now, which is the key one. And the timing is also very important. Early in the morning or lunch timing or late afternoon, sometimes once we get, some of the messages or some, communication from the channels or from the partners, then definitely they really, we just skip it. We just say, I will see afterwards. And that, afterwards never comes. And we always forget, this discussion. So wonderful response, Sean. I really like it. With this same Olima, I think as we have, different, most of the institutions have different touch points. We have different channels. how we can map this customer journey across all the touch points, and how we can make in a use that we can understand that exactly customer, which are the good channel touch points where customer, is touching us more. And then what are the journey, which we can make actually map from all around the touch points. So Alanma, maybe you can guide us on this.
Okay, thank you again, Fahim. So I will start by saying that, every organization wants to be known, to provide unrivaled, enjoyable customer experience. We know that the journey, starts from meet needs up to, providing an enjoyable customer experience. But this doesn't just happen, randomly. You have to be deliberate by understanding, the end-to-end journey of your customer. So for each customer to make a decision, there are at least 7, different interactions that they have with your touch points, just to make that decision and, to form an impression or an opinion about your brand or your organization. And let's remember that these touch points could either be online or offline. So because of the digital evolution that is happening, we seem to forget that offline is also, very critical. It starts from your doorman. It starts from security or the doorman. Even the washrooms, if I don't have a good experience, that, can keep, resonating with me. So we need to understand the customer journey. And so the customer journey is just the visual roadmap of the interaction that customers have with your organization as they interact with, with the company and the brand. So we must organize, so every organization must understand each touch point that they have so that they can optimize each point so that that experience can definitely be an enjoyable one, for the customer. So like I previously said, we have to identify, and at each point, you also need to identify the pain points that your customer have so that you can, improve on them. So touch point analysis, like I've mentioned earlier, is critical to enable us to identify and have a full view, a complete vision of how we can then map, our customer journey. If you don't understand your touch points, then you cannot map the customer journey. So you have to do a complete analysis. So there's a study that says that customers that use the customer journey maps, reduce their cost of service by 15 to 20%. And definitely this will hit the bottom line. So it's not just about the theory. The business is also seeing that, the cost of running the cost of service is also reducing just because you decide to practice the customer journey map. So how do we map the customer journey? So you create the customer persona. That's how you understand. By understanding your customer, you create your personas. Then you need to have a series of workshop focus groups so that you can understand your buyer goals. What are the goals of your customer? Then map out your touch points, like I previously said. Identify and address the customer pain points. Monitor each experience for feedback. So the customer is not happy. The customer, some people use emojis, the smiley face, the sad face, and all of that. So you need to monitor. Feedback there must be a mechanism for feedback so that you can understand how the customer feels at each point. Then, of course, with all the feedback that you have from the customer, you should be able to analyze that feedback and then go back to your drawing board so that you can update and improve. Then you also need to understand that there are different stages that our customers go through in their journey. There's a stage of awareness, so to capture that experience. There's a stage of appeal where you appeal to the customer. You need to capture that experience. There's a stage where they ask questions. I mean, I shouldn't send an email and keep following up. You have to monitor that experience to be sure it's enjoyable. The stage where the customer acts, you have to monitor the advocacy. That's the point where they now become, they now start telling people, and then, basically that's, for me, that's how you map your customer journey. And like I previously said, it will definitely add to your bottom line. Thank you, Fahim.
Linma, I want to just carry one more question with you on the same, if you don't mind.
Okay.
You said that, identify the pain points. Customer feedbacks comes on these touch points from the different one. For example, customer is writing on Facebook, customer is writing on Twitter, maybe on Instagram, maybe, customers writing to the company or bank through, emails, maybe on your NPS score, net promoter scores. Customers feedback is from the different, all 4 or 5 angles. How we can analyze these pain points? Who should be responsible in the company, and who should do, all this mapping and bring it to the table to the people? And once it is on the table, what the company should do?
Okay, so for me, customer experience is everybody's responsibility. So it's not just a particular department. Yes, just so that we can be structured, we have the customer experience team. So feedback should come from every angle. So what we have done in my organization, for instance, is we have the voice of customer. So on that platform, if you are the staff and there's a complaint, you log it in. The customer also logs in their complaint, and then we map, even from the central bank here, we've also mapped that to, we also had to map that to the central bank. So we have the chatbot that also, responds. So for me, it is everybody's responsibility. However, for analysis, that now becomes specialized. So there should be, you can have maybe like a team. If you can't do that in-house, you also have to outsource that will collect this feedback from different channels and then forward it to different units for immediate resolution. And of course, after resolution, it is tracked. You also need to track, if you can track the customer who also gave that, that complaint or the experience, to also provide feedback and follow up, it will be fantastic. So I would say it's everybody's responsibility, but for proper analytics, you either get analytical tools, which you can give out the information, or you can also outsource that function until your staff are properly trained.
Wonderful. So
that would be my response. Thank you.
Wonderful, Alma. So as you are saying, as we create the journey of customer and map it, with the entire ecosystem, we definitely create the internal also, mapping, so that how, the feedback goes from one person to second person, so that, we should also take the responses so serious, and also add or edit our services or product or services, so that we are not seated on the feedback. We should actually bring it, to the product and services department, or where, we should actually change the services where needed. It's not like we read the customer feedback and say, okay, this customers don't understand us. I don't know why they are writing these things to us. So we should actually understand from customer point of view. So Sean, this is also back to you. And there's also one question from audience, which Sean, I would like you to answer. The question from audience is: the lack of change management strategy is generally attributed to bad customer services, CX. How does an organization tackle it?
So a lot of this works together. I mean, if we take change management, I mean, I think change management starts from what Alomra was saying around how we digest information coming from the customer. If we're taking information that is going into a team that is understanding the root cause analysis, they are building up a series of actions that address the issue proactively and in a very short space of time, change management isn't so much of an issue. I think in the last 4 years, with the drive that was hit across the globe from the pandemic, everybody rushed into this age of digitization. And what I loved what Alomra was saying was, the journey when it comes to engagement from a physical perspective often starts with a security guard or a doorman. and we translated this person into a sanitary protocol. So the first thing that your customer got was a thermometer and a hand sanitizer up at them as if there's some sort of diseased environment. The challenge with that is that we never went through the understanding of that journey because we were so pressed for time. And I think that's where change management starts. Change management is first and foremost about understanding what needs to change and why. Once you've got those two elements, the process of making the change should be quick. In a digital environment, in a digital world where we're sitting at the moment, we don't have to wait weeks and weeks and weeks to get things done. We should be able to, in a no-code, low-code environment, be able to make a change, quickly put it into production environment, and then have it impacting the customer almost straight away with measurement right down to that level. And I think that's the critical piece of the evolution that all organizations are going through from a digital perspective. The challenge that banks sit with is the legacy that we ultimately have. Now, many institutions are long-standing, they've been around for a long period of time, and our customers don't just operate with us on a day-to-day basis. They work with agile, very responsive organizations, very responsive technology stacks on a day-to-day basis that ensure that they are getting a very different experience from us. And that's where they lay their point of comparison. They don't go out there and say, okay, well, bank 1 and bank 2 have got similar experiences, but bank 3, that's a cool one. I'll give that a try. No, they say, well, okay, I booked an airline ticket for me and my family. It took me 15 minutes, but you want me to take 30 to 40 minutes just to make a payment, and you need 10 different forms. That's what the change that customer is wanting to see. And how we evolve as organizations to meet that need of our customer with regards to the parallel industries is going to be where the game is won and lost for those companies that are either fast or slow in that regard.
Thank you, Sean. Alanma, I also want to pass the same question to you also, and with the addition that do you think that change management strategy should be decided at the board level, decision level, or it should be more from the customer's needs or wants point of view?
Okay, thank you, Fahim. So I want to take it from two angles. So for change management strategy, the board should have the board buy-in. So the board should approve the strategy. However, that's high level. For the change management to happen, the strategy should come from your customers, because that's the reason why you're in existence anyway. If you don't meet and exceed your customer expectations, then your business will, I fear that it will be a sustainable business. So let's also remember that two types of customers. We have the internal customers, and then we have the external customers. You must have the buy-in of your internal customers, because they are the ones that will go out and sell to your external customers. Once your customer, one of the best advocates you can get really are your internal customers. They believe you're able to get their buy-in. They believe in what you're doing. They believe in the vision. They believe in where you're going. They will be able to translate it to the external customers. So for me, I'll say it has to come both top button and the bottom up, so that we meet at a particular where ultimately and exceed the expectations of our customers. That will be my response. Thank you.
Wonderful response, guys. Sean, as you said, definitely, the change should be done as quick as possible, should not take weeks. And Alanma, as you said, the change should come definitely at the end user, what the customer really wants. But definitely we need to get the buy-in from our board. But it should be the consideration what the customer really needs and wants, on that particular area. I would like to ask the final questions from which is, the burning also from all most of the audience also. So guys, where do you see is this evolution of the digital consumers going in, let's say in next 1 or 2 years or 2 to 3 years? As maybe if we just compare 2019 to now, there's lots of things are changed. So where do you see again this evolution is going in next 1 or 2 years? And maybe also your final thoughts for this panel. So starting from you, Sean.
Yeah, thanks, Fahima. So I think customers are in for a roller coaster ride of evolution when it comes to the changes that are going to happen in certainly in the short term, the next 3 to 5 years. Coming out of a conference that I spoke at in Cape Town a month ago, the evolution of the customer experience is massive. You've got organizations plowing an immense amount of time and effort and financial resources into the straight-through processing at a digital level. There's going to be no more paper moving around organizations anymore. This is about digital workflows. It's about real-time decision-making, real-time decision engines, building experiences for customers using data. And the nice thing about data is that data doesn't sleep. So your offers are going to be presented to you really, really quickly and are relevant to you. So that's the first piece. The second piece is big banking institutions are realizing that, maybe they have realized a while ago, that the fintechs coming into the market are more of an opportunity than a threat. You're going to see a lot of partnerships happening. Partnerships that are starting to build customer value through those relationships, as opposed to banks trying to find ways to offer the same solutions. So your customer value basket is going to grow extensively in the next period. And then your channel evolution is going to be huge. You know, there are businesses out there that are working about how you hop between WhatsApp to Instagram to call center to email and back to Instagram in terms of the way that you engage with customers. This multi-channel approach is going to be huge. And all of this is being encompassed in that single term of a total experience. It's no longer just customer experience or employee experience or user experience or multi-channel experience. It's about a total experience to customer. But it's also about that culture in the organization that drives these experiences. So what's next? An enormous amount of change. I think that is going to be the only constant in the next period, is that things are going to change with the drive and the acceleration of the age of the customer. More and more businesses are creating greater focus on those customers, greater focus on the opportunities, greater focus on the offers that allow for hyper-personalization. And that's something that's really, really exciting to be a part of. And I think in being able to put a message to anybody out there is that if you're not thinking digital, if you're not thinking customer journey, if you're not thinking customer experience, and you're not thinking about investing in this space, you are going to get left behind, because your customers are going to find a really easy way to go somewhere else and be offered something better, faster, and in a way that suits their channel requirements than what you're offering at the moment.
Thank you, Sean. Wonderful response on this, how the next 2 or 3 years will look like. Olenma?
Yeah, thank you for him. So I totally agree with Sean. So I see there's going to be a lot of ease of switch. Let me use the word ease of switch, because companies are beginning to understand customer experience, digital customer experience, and the need to ensure that your customer has an enjoyable service. So there's going to be fierce competition. Everybody is going to up their game. And definitely, because it's like we're all fighting for about the same cake, I see a lot of fierce competition. And Sean also mentioned the change. There are a lot of changes that are going to happen. I mean, 2019, we didn't know that the changes would be so we should be ready. Honestly, every organization should be ready. And my thoughts on that is that we should keep mapping our future strategy especially customer experience strategy, so that we can be ahead of competition at all times. So if we haven't, for any company that hasn't made customer experience strategy, giving that full attention, I believe it should be in our front burner right now. Take the pain to bear the cost now, because ultimately it's also going to benefit your bottom line. So it's not just about, business. Honestly, any customer that understands that this organization cares about me, about my business, go take the pain for personalization and takes the pain to, and anytime I make a complaint, they're up and about trying to ensure that my complaint or my feedback is addressed. That customer will definitely stay. So it's not just about bringing them in and attracting them, but you also have to have your customer retention strategy. So that will be my final thoughts. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ulanma. So definitely I agree with you guys. We really need to do embracing the change from bricks to clicks now, and bringing our business forward in a way that the consumer wants. We cannot go in the traditional way of our business, or whatever the banking channels we were running earlier. We really need to understand what customer want, not what we want for the customer. Guys, the customers' habits are changing, buying habits are changing, customer behaviors are changing. Every month, every week, every year, you see customer really want something different. So we don't have to tell customer what they want. We actually have to show them this is what the customer is really need, and that can be only done through the customer journey. As Ulanma said, we really need to make the customer journey touch points so that we understand. Take advantage from your data, from all these touch points, all these areas where you get all these customers behavior understanding, and then definitely bringing into the table of your board, to your internal team, to your product and services, change in the manner where the customer really think that this is the best, and then you give them the customer. But as I said earlier, definitely awareness is the key, internal and external both, to make your customer loyal, ultimately using your channel and not going out to any other systems and services. Thank you so much. With this, I would like to thank to all my panelists. Wonderful guys, really good responses, and I really like your way of covering the topic. So thank you so much for joining this session.
Thank you for
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Over to you,
Bye.
Mohammed.
Thank you again, Fahim. Thank you, Sean. Thank you.